evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It is President's Day. The market was closed today, and it is Monday evening. So let's see what the week's going to have for us today. How is everybody? Did everybody enjoy their extra day off, 3-day weekend? And we'll see what gifts or tricks the market has this week. Laptop travel, we'll have to get into that and see exactly what it has for us. But this is how it stopped on Friday. So that's what the heat map did look like there. Let me just see and post this bad boy out. Let me see. Let me open that up and then hit that and share it. There we go. I'll share the broadcast and say live show here because I don't know if it's messed up on X or not. X was messed up earlier today, so I'm not sure if it's working, but there we are. And let's cruise right through and see. How about that rhyme right here, Luis Rodriguez? He was talking about this bad boy last week. He gave it out a few times. Where'd it go? There it is. And yeah, that thing went ripping there, and it's even up more in the after hours. How are you, Luis Rodriguez? Good evening. So yeah, I was just saying this rhyme. You were just talking about this. There's our scanner results. Thank you, Laptop Travel. Actually, you know what? I was just editing a bunch of videos, and you probably messaged me. I didn't even pay attention. Sorry, but I was just doing a bunch of stuff. But here we go. I swear, even a 3-day weekend, they go by like that. It's already after Valentine's Day in the middle of February. You know, February's short, only has 28 days, so that's a short month. And then we're going to be in March real quick. So this is just flying by 2026. So let's see what the market wants to get flying in the right direction. If not, we'll put it down. It's not a big deal. I had a pretty good day on Friday, shortened down the queues. It was pretty wild. If you guys were in the Discord, I know Sam was in there, and it was some pretty crazy calls going on in there. And if you didn't see, there is a Discord promo. It is Love, Love, so you can check that out. And let's go through the market. So yeah, Rime, Rime, ripping there. Could continue in the morning, Laptop Travel. So look at that. That JDZG is that J8 or whatever. That's a China small cap. And Mulek right there was jumping around. So we'll keep an eye on all of them. And that Atom, Atom, whatever it's called, Atom, I guess. I don't know. FGL, does that founder group? Look at that thing running up. We used to look at that. VVPR, Vivo Power International. Another one had some Vivo Power right there. So a few that were running up. And that SIF, remember we were looking at this thing? Holy cow, look at that thing. We were looking at that way down there in the sixes and all. So that got ripping. Rime is $5 in the over hours right there. Closed at 459. It's still going up. I don't even know what the heck did they even have go on to make it go. Semi-cab AI platforms, 400%. I don't even know what it's talking about, but it had something going on, and that's what Rime is. So I don't know what they're doing, what they had happening, but this now service now was looking pretty good too. And I was just checking that out. There's my there we go. Oh, Jesus Christmas. All right, we'll do that later. We'll get in the trend spider later. You know why? I know exactly why. Okay, I'll get into that. Hold on. Let me jump over here. I'll do this real quick on this screen. And I can do it like that. They're going to probably want to send the thing to me. I know they want to send me a password, the thing to log in. That's why. So let me just do that. That way I can have it. It was just on, and I don't know why it's doing that, but it is. Anyway, no big deal. Here we go. Let's cruise through and see what's going on. Let me see. There's my I have two. That's because I have the two-factor authentication on. That's why. That's what does it now. Hold on. So I probably have to do this more often and make sure that I have it all set up right before I hop on here. So I'll mess with it later on. It's not a big deal. Anyway, that's the trend spider. I'll deal with that and later on. It's making me log in and do all kinds of weird stuff, but who cares? We got FinViz. We'll use that tonight. We'll get Trend Spider working. It was just working a little bit ago. I was just using it. I had the I was just looking at the service now actually on there just a few, like probably a half hour ago, 40 minutes ago. This thing looks really good. Look at that NOW right there, service now. Check that bad boy out. That's looking pretty nice right there. So all righty, here we go. Let's go through our list and see what's going on this Sunday night. ONDS right here. That was cruising back up a little bit on Friday. I do think they're making these bottom supports. You can see they're going to be bullish. They got way down here. A lot of them have. Your 20s are still coming down. So we'll be keeping an eye on it this week. It could just still be a setup week right here where they get jumping around, but we'll make sure that we're keeping an eye on all of these and see what wants to actually get set up. Galaxy looks pretty good, and that was basing off of crypto, I would say. I mean, it looked good anyway, just because it has this nice little setup going on. And let's take a look at crypto just to start the show, because Bitcoin's back at 68. Not that it was terrible, but it was a looking a little bit better the other day when it was coming up right there. It doesn't look bad. I mean, they're crossing the MACD. It's just kind of taking its time right here. I thought might move a little faster, being that the market was closed for 3 days and crypto's open over the weekend. But it is pulling back a little bit, nothing terrible. So we'll be watching that in the morning. Here's Ethereum. Ethereum still looks pretty good. Look at it trying to roll off there and just waiting for them 20s to come down, I'm sure. And here is your Ripple over here. So yeah, not looking bad right there for Ripple. And then we have Solana, and that's not looking too bad. Look at that trying to get curled back up. So that's just waiting for the 20. So I think they're in pretty good shape right here for crypto to try to continue its way back up. And I do think we'll see crypto start moving relatively soon. Let's see. Gold, you're saying, is down right now in the after hours, I guess. Luis Rodriguez is saying, and silver, I'm imagining too. And let's just see what the futures give us right here. And we'll see. There's your gold right there. And it is down 1.51% right now. Silver's down a little bit as well, because they're going to be your futures. And your Dow's just barely up. S&P barely. NASDAQ barely down. And let's see, this is the important one right here, your VIX and your UVXY. Let's see what they look like going into tomorrow. And then we'll get through our list right here. And I mean, the leftist would have looked at, you can't even tell what's going to happen. I mean, look at that, just kind of flat, making its way up, could curl down, could continue up. Doesn't look too bad, but it could go either which way, especially after a 3-day weekend. And the UVXY right here, that does not look bad, I must say. I mean, look at that thing, 20 and 50 trying to meet up and trying to run up. So maybe tomorrow is continues the red day. Let's check out our SPY and Qs, because the SPY was trying to bounce back up a little bit there at the I guess at the end of the day. It was down, it came up and came back down right there, and it was just kind of hanging out. And then your Qs right here on Friday were actually kind of down, and they got up there and then pulled back towards the end of the day. So, and then they dipped down in the after hours, more or less. And I don't know. It's hard to tell exactly what they want to do. They have that look, but it's not exact look like the Qs want to move, to be honest with you. And we'll go through the Mag 7. And the SPY sitting in an interesting spot right there, obviously, after a 3-day weekend, and your IWM was up. That doesn't look too bad there. We could see our rotation right here, and then see all these ones that we're about to look at start to get set up and move right here. So here we go at ASTS, and let's take a look at it. ASTS Space Mobile, and that, whoop, there we go. And that is dipping down a little bit. It was pulling back some. I know it was pulling back a little bit on Friday. There in the beginning, ran up, kind of pulled back there, and nothing too crazy there, but it does have some resistance above it, and it does look like it could still pull back. So that's an interesting look right there to see tomorrow. UMAC right here looks like it's trying to get set up, so I'd keep an eye on that one. And there's Redwire right there. That's not looking too bad. I just want to mark down a couple of them. Again, I can't tell exactly what wants to run first thing tomorrow. We'll look at them at 7 a.m. for pre-market and see how the market wants to open up. But let's run through and see, as if it was a Sunday night, but it's a Monday night, and we didn't have a market open today. Rocket Lab right here, that was up, but it could go either way right there. It could hit that resistance and bounce down. Nuclear's in a interesting spot right here. It was pulling back a little bit the last two trading days, Thursday and Friday, but that looks like it wants to try to get set up right there. And then Oklo, OKLO, that was trying to move up right there, but again, has an interesting look. You can see it has a little setup period right here. So I think Nuclear could get set up, or could get rocking and rolling relatively soon. There's your SMR right there. So we'll be watching for nuclear to see what it wants to do. In the morning, EOSE right here, that has a good bottom right around 10. It could pull back a little bit, hit that bottom. And again, we got to see what the market looks like tomorrow. Iron right here, that does look pretty decent to try to move its way up. So you might want to keep an eye on that one. Tomorrow, we'll definitely watch IREN right there to see what that wants to do. And Carmel, critical metal, CRML, dipping down a little bit right there. So we'll have to watch that one. MP was up on Friday, and it's in an interesting spot right there. Has that it should be support, and it's trying to get there. It's just not there. It could get knocked down. So we'll definitely be watching all of these and exactly how they respond in the morning. You saw right here was pulling back a little bit. It says it's up, but again, it didn't look perfect. It was up a little bit, dipped down in the morning, ran up, had a little bit of fade in the afternoon there towards the end of the day. And it does just it's kind of hanging out in that channel right there. I'm not sure if it's exactly ready, so we'll see what's up with that. Doge Mama 9, how are you this evening? And let's see what our UAMY is doing, that United States Anatomy Corp. And another one, not too bad. And it has a little setup period. Your 20s are coming down. You know, I don't like when them 20s are coming down on them like that. You know, they could have a setup period unless they just get blasting off. I'm not so sure that's the case tomorrow morning. You. And I'll tell you what, guys, I think we're getting a little bit closer to something happening in Iran. I'm not going to lie. You know, I said it on Friday. I said it in the Discord. I said it in the morning show. This market looks a little bit too weird to me, guys. You know, I pick it out pretty often. And I've been I've known something's going to go on. Now the market's showing us something. So whether it's I don't think we're going to see these aerospace and defense get set up anymore, because we could see a lot of the drone companies and a lot of different things get set up. I think this one's going to be a combination of an attack with Israel. I think they're going to go in. I said it on Friday. I think they're going to go in and do something that we've never seen before. It's going to be wild, and it's going to be even crazier than what they did in Venezuela. It's going to be a joint effort between Israel and the U.S. They're just great. I mean, I think I just noticed this. I could be wrong. What did it say? Yeah, oil gains on Iran, stocks tepid. I don't know what that is. And holiday trading. And these safer chip stocks have boomed this year, but oil gains. So oil could be up right there. Big tech stocks lose billions as AI spending fears hit valuations. Dark side of AI, Wall Street risks of deeper sell-off. So you could see more red tomorrow in the Mag 7, like I'm saying. And the indexes close the week with losses. Inflation slows. So that's what we had last week going into today and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm telling you, I just can see something happening here. We'll go through a bunch of stuff, but I was talking about it the other day, and you guys know I've picked out a few things, that's for sure. But anyway, so you could see a lot of different things like USO get cruising right here. As a matter of fact, what was the one that Ben was looking at? RTX. Is this it? Yeah. Holy cow, this thing was looking great the other day. It's pulling back, and I'm telling you, this thing's getting set up for something. Here, let's just cruise right through a few of them. Lockheed Martin, that was blasting off. Look at that look right there. Your Huntington Ingalls right here, that was running up. That's getting crawled up real nice, too. Look at that bad boy. Your Northrop Grumman's another good one to keep an eye on. Look at that thing getting crawled up right there. So I do think we're going to start to see some of these aerospace and defense ones also. I didn't mean to click on their website. I meant to click on aerospace and defense. Here's that Archer. It's kind of dipping down. Let's just take a look. There's a couple of Israeli ones. That's what I want to look at real quick. Let's see where they at. Not on this page. I'm trying to remember what they are. I can't even think of it. Mobilicom's definitely one of them, MOB. And there's a few other ones, PRZO, and there's a couple on this last page, like 2 of them or something. There used to be more, just one. TAT. There used to be like 5 or 6 of them, I remember. But here's Mobilicom, and that one's just pulling back. But look at this thing. That thing's going to try to get set up off of that trend line right there. PRZO right here. That's looking pretty good, guys. PRZO. We're going to have to keep an eye on that one. And here's that TATT. That's just pulling back right here. We'll probably get a little dip down, and then it get cruising back off that 47. So keep an eye on that as well. And let's see, HWM, that's Helmet Aerospace, and that one, I remember you mentioned that last week, didn't you? Laptop Travel. Look at that thing right there, HWM. That's also looking good. So I would say some of the aerospace and defense looking pretty good at the moment, and they're only going to get set up even more right here. So I do think we're going to see something relatively soon. I don't think it's going to have to be a weekend or anything crazy. I think it's just one day you wake up and something happens. It's just a matter of when um, the dude from the prime minister of Israel and Trump haven't figured out. And again, we have like aircraft carriers and all kinds of big ships going in that direction over there. So they're not moving these things around just for shits and giggles. Just like when Russia was moving all their military around at the end of Biden's term, or at the end of Trump's first term, I mean, before Biden got in, they started moving all their military equipment like immediately as soon as Biden won. And yeah, that was not because they just wanted to waste money moving a bunch of equipment around. Look what happened to Ukraine right after that. So when you see these big ships and stuff start moving in a certain direction, something's going to happen soon. Ask Venezuela. Was that the country they just took that dude from? I forget what country that was. Even was that Venezuela? I don't even remember. That's how bad my memory is. It just happened like a couple weeks ago, and it was like super high tech. They were using like sonic booms. It was wild, and I don't even remember what country it was. Holy cow! Need my brain checked, but I've already had that done. It doesn't work. Anyway, let's go back to this ASPI right here. Look at that one. That specialty chemicals, that's going to get set up as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on all these. How about Berna? That was dipping down the other day. I think we do see a little dip on this one. It does look like it's trying to pull back right now. And this is the cool gun manufacturer one that you don't need a license or anything for. So you guys know what that's about. Good old Berna and UAVS right here is up a penny. And this one looks like it's getting set up, guys. I would say keep this on your list. That thing gets curled up right there. That could have an interesting look right there. UAVS, that AG Eagle aerial systems. And like I said, I think some of these drone ones could start to look good. Here's your gush right here, your oil and gas, and that thing looks pretty good. What did Oxy do? That was trying to bounce back up after it dipped down. Now it looks really good again. And ExxonMobil, that was dipping down there pretty good, I remember, on Friday. And CVX was trying to bounce back up. So we'll be keeping an eye on all them, oil and gas and all that situation. And here's your BOIL right here, if I type it in correctly, BOIL. And that is down a little bit, but that's your natural gas one. And this one is not looking bad, guys. It got beat down after that big spike up, and it could get moving again. So I would keep an eye on that BOIL right there, BOIL, and RGTI and our quantum and computer hardware ones were trying to bounce back up on Friday after getting beat down there. And that's a pretty good look right there. So you definitely want to keep an eye on that. QBT right now, it's trying to get set up. We'll be watching that. That QBTS D-Wave not looking so bad right there. And QMCO we were looking at the other day. They do have their earnings. Is that tomorrow? And it will be tomorrow. So QMCO has earnings if you want to look at an earnings play for tomorrow. And that QTUM is the Defiance Quantum ETF. That was up, and that looks pretty good right there. QSI, that has a good trend line underneath of it. It could bounce off of. And IONQ wants to get cruising and curling up as well. So definitely keep an eye on that. RCAT, Aerospace and Defense, another one. That looking so great at the moment. We'll look at that one tomorrow and see if it looks a little bit better. And then here's your Z Space. And this thing's a disaster all the time. Look at it. It's at its lows again. So it just keeps on dipping down there for ZSPC. And let's continue on and see what else we have happening right here, like UNH. Remember, I said that they looked good on Thursday night, and there you go. They were good plays right there. They could continue up. UNH not looking so bad. It could get through, and again, going off a 3-day weekend, it's a little bit tough to tell. MOH right here was another one we mentioned, and that thing looks pretty good. So maybe UNH and MOH have a little bit of momentum right there. And of course, that Oscar OSCR was down a little bit. This one's just trying to get set up as well, and we'll keep an eye on them. So Tech right here was jumping up. Look at that bad boy, guys. Specialty Chemicals, and they have that rat thing, and they're getting a new CEO, I think, sometime soon. But yeah, this one definitely jumping up. So Tech on Friday, looking pretty strong. IMRX right here is that pancreatic cancer one. And this thing isn't looking too bad. It's just pulling back a little bit. Let it get set up. This thing looks like it has a lot of opportunity to get moving again. And we'll be watching for that one. I do like that one. And like I said, just the fact that I don't even look at news, but I understand the trials for that. And it's kind of crazy. I'm impressed what it does. That's why it's staying on the list, because it is pretty wild. CMG Chipotle was pulling back. We'll see if it can get set back up again. And how about that Cracker Barrel right here? I mean, guys, look at that setup look, but if it keeps dipping down right there, it's going to get destroyed. Let me X out a couple of these right here. And yeah, Cracker Barrel, we'll definitely have to keep an eye on good old Cracker Barrel right here. See if it wants to pull back right there. I mean, it has that good support line. That's a pretty good setup right now. And we were saying it was going to get set up, and it's set up pretty quick, actually. A lot faster than I thought it would. Seems like the market's moving a lot faster than crypto right now. And yeah, Cracker Barrel cruising along. We'll definitely be checking that out in the morning. And what about Plug right here is plugging away. And that also has a pretty good thing setting up right here. Look at that chart set up. And we'll see. I don't know, though, if it's exactly ready. It may have a little more time to wait for Plug, PLUG. And we'll have to check that out, because it's right there where it could move, but I don't know if it's ready. QuantumScape sitting on that support line. And we'll see if that could do something soon. And here's that Rocket Companies right there, Zach. And there you go, off of that trend line. That should be your bottom again and get moving again. So hopefully you play that one, and it could get bouncing back up into your 20. And then obviously get jumping around right there, and then get cruising when the 20 starts to curl it back up. So that's what it looks like right now for RKT, Zach. And let me see what else is happening over here for that Lucid right now, Luis Rodriguez. This thing's just been kind of bouncing around down here. They have earnings coming up at the end of the month. That's coming up, what, next week? Yeah, 16th today. So that's next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. Will be the 12th. Holy cow. The end of February is next Saturday. That's pretty wild. So Sunday will be March 1st. Next, not this Sunday, but the next one. Just this Sunday, it's the 15th, right? Or the 16th, I mean. So this Saturday is the 21st. This Sunday is the 22nd. And then next week after that, February will be gone. That's so wild, guys. How crazy is that? And so anyway, Lucid right here, we'll be keeping an eye on. It does look like it's trying to roll off that MACD, that's for sure. Rich Tech Robotics, we were checking this out as it dipped down and has that support line right there. This could still fall down a little bit more. I'd have to look at that tomorrow for RR. And what about GALT right here, GALT? And let's see, this guy, I'm telling you, this thing is going to get set up. It's just going to get mooning, guys. So keep an eye on GALT. Hopefully Joseph Levy's feeling better. I talked to him a little bit this weekend. I hope he's recouping pretty well, and we're thinking about him. I'm not sure. He might be even hanging out here and paying attention to the show. Here's fun right here, dipping down laptop travel. Not so fun if it gets through that 50 tomorrow. So we'll definitely see if that's a play, like Dave and Buster's dipping down too. So fun and play both dipping down pretty good on this past week. We'll have to see when they get bottom back out and they can pop back up. But look at ARM, guys. I think that could be a really strong one there tomorrow. Keep an eye on ARM. You know, we've played that before, and it's looking good. How about that grab right here? That had pulled back a little bit. It's been jumping around on its earnings too. So GRAB, we'll definitely be watching that. I know Laptop Travel likes it. It's just kind of hanging out in this channel right here. It doesn't look like it's getting popping just at the moment. And obviously, we'll keep an eye on it. And Oracle right here. I mean, this thing had bottomed out down here, and now if you get through this channel and it gets up there, it looks like it wants to curl up. Oracle not looking so bad. Could be a good setup right there for ORCL. And finally getting cruising. And Adobe, that one's been way down as well. And let me type it in correctly, ADBE. And let's see. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think Adobe's going to be a good player right here, guys. So keep an eye on ADBE. I don't know if it's going to get knocked down. That kind of looked like it bottomed out right there. It's trying to get out of the basement. I have a feeling Adobe's going to get cruising for us. So that's one I'll be looking at tomorrow. And how about MRVL, that Marvell? Luis Rodriguez, I think this is going to have another spike up right here and roll off that MACD and get popping. So definitely keep an eye on that. I know you've been liking that one lately, and AMPX right here had been dipping down, and that looks like it could pull back a little bit more. Has a little support right there, all the way down at like 9. It could pull back definitely down there. Light Path was jumping around the other day. I know that Thursday it was running up. Friday it was pulling back. We'll have to see. Look at this thing. It's hitting the MACD after a 3-day weekend. Hard to tell, but it looks like it wants to bounce back up right there for LPTH. So definitely another one we have to keep an eye on for tomorrow. And let's see. ABTC, some of these guys, I mean, are they going to get set up? It all depends on what crypto wants to do, obviously. And you could see they looked good. I'm showing you because they looked kind of good there on Friday as crypto was looking pretty good and spiking up there. And we'll have to see how it looks in the morning. But BMNR right here, that one was looking pretty good, jumping up there Friday. So look at that bad boy. I would say if Ethereum still looks good, like I said, so we might see that Ethereum still over 2,000. We might see these get moving a little bit there tomorrow. So keep an eye on some of them crypto plays right there. Let's continue cruising through. Lunar right there could get bounced, and I don't know if it's just ready yet, but that one could be getting set up. That's an aerospace and defense one. And Reddit right here was definitely in the gutter right there. That went into the dungeon. And Reddit, RDDT, that could be another one that you're watching to get set up. So you have an Oracle, Adobe, and Reddit could be getting set up right there. And let's see, Snapchat too. This is way down as well. So that's another great opportunity. I mean, anytime they're way beat down in the basement and they've been running down like that, you know they're going to get curled up. And maybe they don't even get out of the basement, but it's a good curl up. They'll move around pretty well, and you'll do pretty well with it. So check out them opportunities. Here's that KXIN. This was spiking around the other day or last week, I mean, and that thing's getting set up for your penny stock. So you can definitely keep an eye on that this week. KXIN, Doge Mama 9, that could be a good opportunity right there. I know it's getting ready. KVUE, the Tylenol maker right here. And there you go. It continues to spike up, and they have earnings coming up tomorrow. And it looks like they're going to be pretty decent, I think. So just based on the chart anyway. And Wolf Speed, holy cow, this thing, remember we were saying how much room it has? And it does look like it might get some Wolf Speed. So definitely keep an eye on that one. WOLF. We'll look at the other one, TerraWolf, too, and that's WULF. And let's see what the other wolf is doing. That doesn't look too bad. That could get rolled up, but that other wolf, WOLF, Wolf Speed, has a lot of room up there and could get cruising. So definitely want to keep an eye on. HD is Home Depot, and that was set up. These ones were running up Home Depot and Lowe's last week, and they're still not looking bad. Look at Lowe's. Lowe's looks really good to try to jump up into the top tomorrow. So keep an eye on LOW right there. And Warner Brothers, definitely have to look at Warner Brothers and Netflix and Paramount with this big fight going on right here. And here's Warner Brothers. I mean, look at it. It's definitely getting set up right there. That's for sure. It's getting set up to do something. And Paramount, that's been in a bearish state, kind of dipping down some more, even though it was up a little, nothing real crazy. And I know Netflix, didn't that pull back pretty good on Friday or Thursday? It pulled back. Okay. Thursday, it pulled back. Friday, it was bouncing back up a little bit and nothing real crazy. But Thursday had that really good pullback. I remember it was under that trend line right there. And maybe we'll see what that wants to do in the morning, but not showing us anything real crazy right there. Another penny stock that was running around pretty good last week, SRXH, and could continue to run around a little bit this week. So that one you can keep on your radar. And like I said, I was looking at the service now. This thing looks pretty good to try to run up now. So keep an eye on that. Someone had mentioned it last week. I remember it did look pretty good off that bottom, and now it's like really looking pretty decent there. So definitely keep an eye on NOW and HIMS right here. This one got beaten up last week. Was it last week? Yeah, I think in the last like week or two, it's gotten beat up. They had like trademark infringement or patent infringement. They had all kinds of stuff going on that wasn't good for business. Let's put it that way. And I would wait for their earnings on February 23rd before I touched hims and hers right there, because I don't even know what that could do after all that news. And Data Vault looking pretty good, guys. So keep an eye on that one as well for your penny stocks. So DVLT. And that Mimi also, remember that one got popping the other day. That was a crazy one that we were super early on. And there you go, continuing to run up. And another one, it's hard to tell exactly what it wants to do there tomorrow morning, but I would keep an eye on it, guys, early in the morning. That one could run up there, and we were way early on that. That's for sure. I gave that one out a couple weeks ago before it even spiked up that time, and then it spiked up even more. So there you are with MIMI. But yeah, another one definitely to keep an eye on in penny stock land right there. Doge Mama 9, I agree with you. And Luis Rodriguez. That was Luis Rodriguez right there. I wasn't even looking. I just saw it said Mimi. I assumed it was Doge Mama 9, but that was Luis Rodriguez. Yeah, that Mimi was running. And like I said, we were super early on it. And so anyway, let's cruise through. Laptop Travel posted his list up there. We'll go through that. I'll run through the Spy Mag 7, everything else. We'll hit these Jolie's Jams real quick. Rhyme real quick, or Rhythm Rhyme. Rhythm, we looked at Rhyme earlier right here. That was cruising along. And Rhythm right here is RYM, and that's not really doing anything. It's just kind of hanging out. Some of the cannabis stocks are just kind of hanging out. They look like they're trying to get set up. If the market gets set up, I have a feeling they could look a little bit better as well. Blink Charging right here is definitely getting set up. I would say keep an eye on that. BLNK, I would jot that down on your setup list. And our Sezzle right here has that trend line, and I would say you're going to want to keep an eye. We already know it's going to run pretty big when it starts moving, so it's definitely want to keep your eye on. Sterling right here has these massive spikes and then big dips, so you can watch for that. It looks like, I mean, that could go either way. That could pop into the top or get rejected off the top. I can't really tell over the 3-day weekend right there. Rivian was jumping up the other day. I do know that. And that could continue its way up tomorrow. And here is Symbiotic right here. And that had a little pullback. That has a little bit of setup time right there. So let's cruise through our Mag 7 and all them guys. And there's Michael Anthony right there. Hims can't sell any type of diet drugs, then the government will be putting them out of business, then big fines. So yeah, they have patent infringements or something like that. I don't know, all kinds of crazy stuff going on with hims and hers. Like I said, I wouldn't touch it until after them earnings to see what's going on. That's for sure. And let's cruise right through and see what's up with our Mag 7 big caps and everybody else. Like I said, our SPY was up a little bit, and we went over these in the beginning. And I don't know, they don't look that great. Even your Qs don't look perfect right there. Your IWM might look the best out of all three of them, so we'll be watching for that. And let's go through and see what our Mag 7's doing. Amazon pulling back. It still looks like, I mean, it's in the basement. It doesn't necessarily look like it wants to go flying yet. Google is still pulling back a little bit, and that's still coming down right there. And I know Luis Rodriguez was looking at for some more leaps for that one. Not puts, but leaps. And Meta, you could probably possibly put puts on tomorrow. It looks like it's going to come down. And it looks like it's drawing down to that 614 right there. So Meta coming down right there. And how about Microsoft right there, Luis Rodriguez? It could get rejected off that MACD. And yeah, dip below 400 right here. I would say so too. Wait for it to dip that at like 389, 390 area. And I think Microsoft could be a better opportunity. And again, I think that they get dipping down, which could pull your Qs down tomorrow. NVIDIA is pulling back as well. And that looks like it's going to pull back a little bit more right there. And then Tesla right here was beating the odds of the Mag 7. And obviously, Tesla has its mind of its own and could beat the Mag 7 tomorrow and go up right there. So that's the best one, I would say, at the moment, might be your Tesla right there. What was Apple doing? Did I start with Amazon and skip Apple? I think I did, but Apple was a bad Apple anyway, and it had been dipping down pretty hard. I know that. So definitely a red Apple right there. Let's cruise through. AMC just been hanging out right there. GameStop was pulling back a little bit. It's trying to get held up on the 20. I'm not so sure it's going to after the 3-day weekend. Chewy right here has been down, and Unity's been down pretty good after it had run up, and then it took that nice dip right back down. Wait for it to curl back up because that one likes to spike pretty quick. Netflix right here, we were talking about it, and again, doesn't look perfect. I mean, it looks a little bit better. It may look a little bit better than PSKY. That's in a bearish trend right there. And then your Warner Brothers, obviously, we were talking about it. Now that looks pretty good right there. I still think Netflix takes the deal, or nobody does. I don't know, but I just don't see. I just don't know if Paramount's going to take it. I just don't know. I just don't see it. Let's put it that way. But anyway, we'll see how that plays out. It could take a long time for that to happen, and we'll see what happens with it. AVGO. Oh, that's not AVGO. That's AVGO. That's our semiconductors pulling back in the trend line there. And we could get a roll off the MACD, so we'll definitely be watching these tomorrow. And MU in an interesting spot. That jumped up pretty good in the morning. Look at this thing. I mean, oh, wait, it dipped down, then went running up in the afternoon, and it was stayed up there. That's right. That was Thursday that it went ripping in the morning, I believe. Yeah, there you go, and pulled back. Seems like I forget what happened even Friday or any day, but 3-day weekend. Wow, it was kind of nice having a 3-day weekend this weekend. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't think we get one for a little while now. I forget what the next one is. It could be like East. I don't. Good Friday probably. That's probably the next one I would assume. Anyway, let's see what go through this MU right there. Our semiconductors. TSM had been hitting all-time highs. It is pulling back at the moment, and we'll see how it reacts tomorrow. SMCI is going to get set up, guys, but it is pulling back a little. But I do think that one has a good opportunity happening. And AMD right here, a little bit of pullback at the moment. QCOM trying to run back up. Remember, I had mentioned this one right there. There you go. It's trying to run, and there you are. I would say it's trying to get cruising again. I'd keep that on your momentum list for good old QCOM, and that could get running. I had mentioned that last week. We played it quick. And then it does look pretty good again. And snow is going up right now, and snow looks pretty good, guys. So keep an eye on that one. Remember, I think PayPal is another one getting set up. So I think we have some good ones setting up, like Oracle, Adobe, Reddit, Snap, good old PayPal right there. That Wolf Speed looking pretty good. So I think we have a couple good ones that are really setting up. Could be good monsters that get running, that's for sure. And let's see what Intel's doing. That was bouncing around. That doesn't look too bad, but it doesn't look perfect at the moment. Dell had been pulling back, and then it tried to bounce up. I think here's where you get that bounce for Dell, honestly. So we'll see tomorrow if that's the way the market wants to roll. And there's your IBM right there. And this one had taken some nice dips, and we'll see if it wants to level down, start bouncing back up. That'll be a good opportunity as well. Palantir, and again, I can't exactly tell what that market wants to do tomorrow, so we're going to have to figure that out at 7 a.m. and go from there. But we definitely have to look at things, see how they close Friday, what they want to do, and get an idea, because Palantir is sitting on that trend line trying to bounce. I'm not so sure that's ready yet. And Sophie right here, this thing has just been pulling back a lot. It's trying to get set up there off the trend line. I don't know if it's exactly ready yet either. Again, we'll have to look at tomorrow. Mara and Riot, these look good because crypto is looking really good there Friday. So we'll have to see how they open up or how crypto looks in the morning. And then we'll see how they look. But they were looking pretty good. They were liking the crypto run on Friday. Look at strategy right there. And it is looking pretty good. And like I said, crypto is right around there, getting set up. I think these are our bottoms, and we'll get cruising. And this is Robinhood right here, and that could be a good one. Coinbase as well. I think that one could get cruising. So I think your Robinhood, Coinbase are definitely good setups right there. They are trying to bottom out. We know that Kathy Wood was buying these things down here as well. And Webull right here could be another one. That thing could get ripping, guys. So watch out for that. If these Robinhood, Coinbase really get ripping and crypto and stuff, we could see Webull get ripping right there. And how about Virgin Galactic right there? And that's an interesting one, that's for sure, because it's not looking too bad to get set up. We'd have to look at it tomorrow. Boeing was trying to go up, and I think Boeing's getting set up right there. If you like Boeing BA, that one looks pretty good. DJT, it's trying to. I don't think it's ready just yet. And Nike right here was up a little bit on Friday. That actually looks good. And Lulu right there. Look at that bad boy. Remember, we were looking at that. I think Lulu's getting set back up, so keep an eye on that one. We played that last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember, guys. It feels like an eternity ago, but we were playing all these McDonald's pulling back after that big spike up. And then you have your Disney right here, Luis Rodriguez. I hope you're Lit chose something and the girls had a good time in Disney. It looks like they spent a lot of money because the stock was going up. And Oxy right here was looking a lot better. We were talking about it earlier. ExxonMobil had been pulling back, but the Gush right here is looking pretty decent, guys. So keep an eye on that. And your DXYZ is that Destiny Tech 100, and it is pulling back a little bit right there. So let's see what else is going on. What you guys want to look at? I know Luis Rodriguez, Laptop Travel, they both had lists up there, and we'll go through everything and see what's happening. So here you go. I'll post them up like that. We'll go through them real quick, see what's going on, and then you guys can take notes, and we'll keep on going. So if you want to see anything, post it up in the stream, and we'll go through it. And here we go at our Laptop Travel list. So ABEO right here. Oh, that's a good setup there, Laptop Travel. I was going to say, you had that on the list, I think, last week, and it was setting up, and it's really looking pretty good for this week. AUTL not looking bad right there after Friday. And BIVI right there, BioVia. And look at, oh, that one looks good, too. That thing could get really spiking if it gets over that 50. Hard to tell at the moment after the 3-day weekend, but it does look good. B Live right there. That has one of them weird like jump arounds, but it's not looking too bad right there. That's for sure over to 20. And BOF is that branch out food. We haven't looked at that in a while. Packaged foods, and that's running pretty good there. Bragg, you had this on there. Bragg Gaming. And it's not too bad right there. And I know we had that lottery. What was that? SEGG or something? SEG or something like that. I think that's what this one is. And that one's not looking too bad. Keep an eye on that. SEGG. We'll see what's up with these gambling ones. Are people gambling on the old Olympics? I doubt it, but you never know. People gamble on everything. CCEL, Cryocell International. And that's an interesting curl up look right there inside that channel on Friday. Looks pretty good. CL. NN it is, and that's clean. I don't even know how to say that one, but that's a biotech one, not looking too bad. There's a lot of biotech ones setting up right now. CRVO, Servomed, that's going to bounce off that trend line. It already did it once. It's going to do it again right there. DCGO is DocGo, and that's curling up. So pretty good list so far. Laptop Travel, DEFT. Is that DeFi? Oh, look at that thing, guys. Now that's a good one. That's a good penny stock right there. Doge Mom at 9 and everybody else. DEFT, it's just in a good spot. You can see what it's doing right there. You know, I like them. And that is looking pretty good in EOLS. Whoop, EOLS. I don't know how to say that one. Evo loss or something. It looks like it wants to go popping. I don't know. I have to look at it tomorrow. It does have a pretty good look right there. And that Freight Technologies right here. Let's see, this thing's been way beaten down. They had a reverse split not too long ago. It was in the middle of December. And that thing is looking pretty good right there for FRGT. So there you go with that. And let's see what HNST is doing. Honest Company. Remember, I thought this was a tea company. What do they make? Kids products, right? Look at that. Now, that dip right there was really good. I think that one's going to be a good bounce play too, guys. HNST, keep an eye on that. SPAI, let's look at that one. It's not on the list, but Safe Pro Group, unless it is, and I just typed it in on accident, but pulling back a little bit, I tried to go at HPAI, Hellport AI, and that could have a little bit of pullback as well. And this Jewel right here, Joel Global or something, look at that sitting on the trend line, and we'll have to look. Hey, we had like a lot of green trying to get moving, but then just kind of Friday bounced down. I'd have to look at it tomorrow for that one. MSW, Ming Xing Group right here is a Hong Kong one. And that one gets over. Oh, yeah, that one's looking pretty good. That could get spiking there tomorrow for MSW. And then your Nexen, NEXN. Yeah, that's like right in that 20 spot, and you can see it wants to try to get into that channel. So that's what you're looking for on NEXN and OBIO right here. Orchestra and Biomed. and that could roll off. It could pull back. It could roll off. Can't exactly tell. OPRT. Opera Fund something, I don't know. Had a dip there on Thursday, trying to recover on Friday. We'll see if it could get through that resistance now, right around where it's at for OPRT and PRQR. Let's see Pro QR right here. Now that one looks like it's trying to get set back up and run back up and rain enhancement or something, enhancement. And that thing looks like it's going to be raining its way up. Look at that. That looks pretty good right there. Pollution and treatment controls, rain. That does look pretty good. RNAC, I know we were looking at this last week, had a bunch of weird candles right there. It is curling. I'd have to look at it because it has a bunch of weird candles right there. And I'd have to look at that. So Sky Bioscience right here could be leveling out, could go down a little bit more. I can't really tell on the 3-day weekend and TLSI right here. Let's see what that's doing. That one's trying to fight to get into that channel. So we look at it tomorrow to see if it does. If it does, it'll get moving. And there you go. It's your laptop travel list. Thank you very much, Laptop Travel. And we did look at that rhyme already. That thing was rocking and rolling. Rhyme, reason, or real. And I'd say rhyme right here. Look at that thing. That one's pretty crazy. I don't know what reason is. And real. And that that's I gotta get that all set up and done. I just keep forgetting. Holy cow. Last day for the new homes construction and rebuild after the storms. Oh, well, that's nice, Laptop Travel. Glad to see that's moving along and actually making good progress there. So glad to hear that. Laptop Travel and Rhyme is in the 5-hour area in the overnight hours. It's jumping around, has a wild ride look. It sure does. Gold was down and Doge Mama 9's hanging out. Japan just revealed their 100 kilowatt high energy laser weapon system installed on the JS Asuka to shoot down drones. We had drones. Soon anti-drone tech. So there you go with the old Japan and their laser weapon system. So yeah, we need that kind of shit around here. Remember when New Jersey had all them drones and then they just moved up and down the East Coast? It was kind of crazy. Does anyone ever still know what any of that was? I remember telling you guys about it before it was even on like the national news because it was like over my house. It was like crazy. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I posted videos. I remember. Then all of a sudden it came out. Like everybody started talking about it. It was wild. But anyway, let's see what's going on with these guys. Yeah, Rivian right here looking pretty good, I must say. Luis Rodriguez, it did jump up pretty good. Didn't AppLove and Bounce try to bounce back up? It did. Oh man, excuse me. Yeah, bounced up, and we'd have to look at it tomorrow to see exactly what it wants to do there for app loving. But yeah, that was bouncing back up. Oh yeah, REMX right here. Let's see, that was cruising around. That's some critical metals again. Another one has, I mean, it has that really good look, like it wants to get curled up right there. I'd have to look at it tomorrow. If it gets through the MACD, it's cruising right there, and you can assume that you're what is that? The rare earths, yeah, rare earths and strategic metal ones would be cruising as well. Holy cow. How is this Madison Square Garden? What do they do? I don't even get it. Do you guys see Britney Spears sold her entire catalog for like $200 million? That's pretty wild. And she must just burn through money like it's going out of style. It's just a shame. And but yeah, that's pretty crazy. She sold her whole catalog. So now what does she do after that? She runs through that 200 million. Then she's really screwed because then she's don't have anything. But anyway, yeah, I was shocked. Well, I guess you can't be shocked to see that, but yeah, she sold her music catalog or something. That's pretty wild. MSGS though, Madison Square Garden, they're gonna be selling Britney Spears' music too now because I don't know who even bought it, but it's not Madison Square Garden. But that thing, I just don't understand how it's a publicly traded company and what they even do. It's a place where you go have concerts and games. I don't know. I don't get it, but maybe I have no idea. I really don't get it. I have no idea what they have. How it's a publicly traded company for Madison Square Garden. But Luis Rodriguez, it's been running for mad long. Toyota Motors running up, and that's still looking strong right there. Look at that bad boy. I'd say TM looks pretty good for tomorrow if it stays up like that. And FEIM, that frequency electronics right here, had gotten beaten down. I think that's a much better spot for it right there. FRMI, Fermi right here. That looks pretty good. I don't even know what that is. That's a real estate one. Recent $500 million something right there. So that's interesting. And Robinhood, you like that? And it is looking much better right there. We were talking about HWM. Helmet Aerospace, and this one's up in the top and could continue up. Coinbase not looking too bad. It was oh wait, that was like that's not Coinbase. That's still not Coinbase. There's Coinbase. I was gonna say that one looked really bad. That looks bad. That one almost conned me out of looking good right there. I was like, what happened to Coinbase in 10 minutes? But that's Coinbase. That looks a lot better. Con's coming down, Coinbase is going up. So how about that look real quick? And how about ABT? It's Abbott Laboratories, right? Yeah, there you go, ABT. And this one had been looking good. We had this one down here at 105. It's at 112 now. So there you are with that. It should continue up. And NVO not looking bad. That looks good. That Novo Nordisk, aren't they the ones suing aren't they suing hims and hers possibly? I forget. Don't ask me. I don't really remember all the companies involved with that craziness, but there's all kinds of people. And yeah, we got to do that real. There's the real right there. Look at that. That thing's about to get cruising. We got to get on it because that's the Michael Anthony thing right there. That's his own ETF. And it's we got to do that bad boy. And Luis Rodriguez is saying he loves his Microsoft, but he's waiting for the dip. And Mimi and Hims we were talking about. Look at PD. We do not want to look at the police department right now, Michael Anthony, but we'll look at pager duty. What is pager duty? Do they sell pagers like back in the day? Who had a pager back in the day? One of them beepers. I know I did. And then people would text you like 911 or whatever. They text you to try to tell you to hurry up and call them back like it was an emergency. Does everyone remember that? And PD, pager duty. I'm not sure what they're paging, but let's see. It is way down there, Michael Anthony, I have to say. And when you said it, what are you talking about? Look at PD. It looks very oversold. I agree. It does look very oversold. We'll see if it stays. If it levels here, then once it gets set up, we'll look at our pager duty and see if we can find some pager duty on that one. And HRB could go to 36. I don't even know what HRB is, but we're going to look at H&R Block. Well, it's going to be tax season, so that could be a good one right there. I think, Michael Anthony, you could be 100% right with that one. Price target 41, and I would say get there to that 40. Yeah, I would say it's going to get through here. At that 34 is your first stop, 36 is your second, and then 40. There are your three stops on H&R Block. If you're going to get your taxes done over there, there's your three stops. You could tell them all about their stock chart. Be like, well, your first stop right there, your first resistance is about 34. Your second one's hitting the 20 at about 36.50. And then your third resistance is going to be your 50 at a little about $40.50. And then that person will look at you like you have 10 heads and they'll have no idea what you're talking about. They're lucky they can even do the taxes. But anyway, there you go for H&R Block. And let's see what CXAI is up to. Doge Mama 9, good old CX app right here. And this is a nice little penny stock down here. I wish I had the Trend Spider work and it might help. I have to get it. I don't know why it's giving me this dual authentic. I gotta like sign in like 4 different times. I hope it doesn't do that all the time to me. That would stink. But anyway, I'll have to mess with it. It was just on, but I'll check this out. And CXAI, it does have that look. I mean, look, it looks like it's trying to bottom. It's trying to move. Your 20s coming down now. It came down a little bit. I'd have to look at it in the morning. Let me jot it down. CXAI. Don't mind me. I'm just a little tired here. Long 3-day weekend. And so, yeah, we'll look at that in the morning. I can't tell you exactly. What do they do for a living, CXAI? Shaping the future of work and transform your workplace with CXAI Sky, the enterprise platform built on customer experience principles empowered by AI to reimagine employee. What the heck? What? It's an AI company. Reading that, I have no idea what they do. Okay, anyone figure that out? desk booking, or I guess it's like an AI secretary, I'm going to say. Trusted by all these 500 Fortune 500 leaders. Look at that. Day in the life. This is Joe, a hybrid office worker using the CXAI workplace employee. And he's got all kinds of balance of work and life. He's getting ready for work at 6:30. I don't even know what's going on here. Anyway, that's what they do. And so there you go, Doge Mama 9. Did you know that's what they even did? I had no idea. But it's not looking so bad. It could get set up, curled up, and start moving right there for CXAI. And so we'll take a peek at it in the morning. I have it jotted down in that PD right there. It does look pretty decent. Michael Anthony will bounce a few hundred, I thought you said a few hundred. I'm like delirious. I'm seeing things. Bounce a few dollars or more. That was up 16 cents on Friday. It certainly was. And then it was up another 4 in the after hours. Look at that, Michael Anthony. What's paper? We got to check and see what they do. Next level incident management power. Everything's powered by AI, and that's all these companies do. Everybody. That's all we do. Products, look, incident management, automation. So I guess if like you have a problem at work, it's an automated thing. I have no idea. What's their pricing like? Let's see. The free version's free. Look at that, guys. You can start with on-call and incident response for small teams, up to 5 users. That's free. Wow, that's interesting. And then if you want out of the box incident response, what kind of incident response are they trying to do? I'm trying to figure this out. Does anyone else understand what kind of incident response that they do? I don't know. Oh well, who cares? We could spend all night looking at every company, I bet. But that's what PagerDuty does. They don't actually make pagers anymore. So they're in it for something different in AI. And there you go, Michael Anthony. And Sophie Lowe should hit about 18. And yeah, I think Sophie could come back a little bit more right here as well. I mean, it's sitting on some good support, but it doesn't look beautiful. And how about Elf? Let's see. HRB is that H&R Block? I think, yeah. And PD are the ones that you buy and hold until Friday or longer, Michael. And how about that, Luis Rodriguez? That's what Michael Anthony says. So you better listen right there. And Elf on the shelf. It's just Elf Beauty right here, looking a little better, trying to recoup. And Elf is looking a little bit better right there. So there you are with that. They had a good time in Disney. Good. It made the stock go up, so you should be happy because now your shares went higher. They spent all your money, and now the shares are going up for you. And so you lost on the money they spent, but you're going to win back all the money on your Disney stock, Luis Rodriguez. So there you go. It's a lose-win situation for you. I think you just happen to go even, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, PD, and Michael Anthony's still talking about PD over here. He loves the police department and the pagers and all that good stuff. Their PE is 439. It's a low PE. Has plenty of cash with a price target of 1471. I don't think I'll be waiting that long. I couldn't even wait that long for that LW when it was running up there. I mean, it was a nice one. Don't get me wrong, but it did take a while. That ABEO right there, Michael Anthony, what's that up to? I forget what the heck your other ones are. I have to look. I didn't even write them down. I didn't write them down the other day. That's why. I'll have to jot them down again. How about that? DLO and the other ones. DLO, what was that one doing? That one's pulling back too, and UEC right there. And of course, we can't forget about your Tiger. And guys, if you didn't listen to the Tiger King interview, be sure to check that out. It's up on YouTube and all that good stuff. But I just cut it down, and I'll have some short clips out, like I said I was going to do. So that's what I was kind of working on this evening and today and stuff like that this weekend. But anyway, there you go. And let's see what else is going on. What did you say? Make that money. Boop, boop, boom. Freight right there. You like the chart. Laptop Travel likes this freight technologies chart right here. That is looking pretty good. And what's the oh shoot, I just forgot what it is. The one that's running right now, it's not top. Is it Top Ships? No, it's not this one, it's the other one. It's another Greece like one. What the heck is it? It's been running recently. I forget what the hell it is. Anyway, it's one of them guys too. like Freight, I think. Isn't Freight like a Oh no, they're a software company. Never mind. They're a software company. I thought they were one of the shipping companies. But they're not. They're a software company. Now I'm like gotta click on everything, huh? This one's not popping up. Oh well. Freight, your website takes too long. Nobody's gonna order from you guys because it takes too long. There you go. There's their website. That looks like it comes from like a different country or something. What the hell's going on? Freight Technologies. Huh. Interesting. I don't know. Everything seems like it's either software or AI. I mean, that's like every company now, it seems like, but it makes sense. And let's see, you'll wait to buy Freight at $1.06. We'll dip again. Whoa, look at that, Michael Anthony. He's telling you laptop travel. And USA hockey team beat Germany today, 5-1, advancing to the quarterfinals on Wednesday. And wasn't that yesterday, Luis Rodriguez? Wasn't that yesterday's game? And the women, didn't they win today? Didn't the women's US hockey and they play in the gold, I think, and something like that. And yeah, sad for Brittany. You never sell away your intellectual property. I agree, laptop travel. I think it is pretty sad. She needs to go back into the studio. I guess she's not anymore. And she sold her music catalog and associated rights to an independent music publisher, Primary Wave. So how crazy is that, guys? For like $200 million, I would think that she would have got a little bit more than that. But anyway, and here's Luis Rodriguez mentioned PD has a several downgrades this month, something like that. Yeah, a bunch of downgrades. And Laptop Travel said Madison Square Garden has seen a dramatic increase in revenues from selling streaming rights to its events, especially hockey games, plus ticket sales. And that's interesting. The fact that it's a publicly traded company is what's like bizarre to me, because I don't know any of the other stadiums that are a publicly traded company. It's kind of weird, to be honest with you, but hey, good for them. They're making good money, I guess, and they're doing it right. And yeah, CXAI, we'll definitely check that in the morning again there. Doge Mama 9 and Pager Duty. Is a platform used by over 30,000 companies, including major enterprise like Zoom, Fox, and all them guys. DraftKings. Wow, see that? And that's PD right there. Was that company that I said was like the yeah, like the whatever. the whatever, like what the heck? I can't even think tonight, guys. What did I even say this was? This wasn't even the one I was thinking about. I don't know. We just looked at way too many companies, like the secretary for like AI or whatever, but this isn't even that one, is it? Because this is that one. Yeah, no, this is the incident response one. I don't even know what that does. Anyway, don't confuse me anymore. I'm confused. PagerDuty includes tools for AI ops to separate signals from noise, automation, incident management. I don't know what any of that even does. So I have no idea what you're talking about, laptop travel. And like PagerDuty Advanced for tasks such as auto remediation and writing status updates. And yeah, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But anyway, it sounds like they're doing something right over there. And you think it's a pager that someone could call you part of the business. You would think so, Michael Anthony, right? I bet Michael Anthony used to have a pager back in the day. He definitely had one. He had one of them. He had one of them phones that was in like the pouch, and he used to be able to walk around with it and plug it into his car. They were some of the original phones back in the day. Michael Anthony had them all, I bet. Anyway, recurring theme from Madison Square Garden is this what sum of the parts valuation, with the Knicks valued by Forbes at roughly 9.8 and the Rangers. There you go. And yeah, I know that they play there. Again, I just don't understand how it's a publicly traded company. Do they have ownership in the teams? I mean, it's really weird. But anyway, need to look at Finviz at oversold stocks. That's why HRB that people use for taxes. Yeah, that's true. Oversold stocks are right here. As a matter of fact, you want to see overbought, oversold. Here you go, Michael Anthony. You want to see some oversold ones. There you go. It's already got Ocean Pal. There's another marine shipping one. Docks right there, and there's that American Rebel. Remember that was dipping down pretty good. So yeah, here you go, Michael Anthony. If you want to see some oversold stocks, all of these are. Look at Yelp down there. Yelp is getting crushed. So is Pinterest. Holy cow! No one likes Yelp and Pinterest anymore. I guess when you have AI, you don't need Yelp or Pinterest, huh? You don't need much of anything, do you? When you have AI, but there you go for some oversold ones right there. Rig, thank you. That's it. That was the one I was thinking of. Laptop travel. How'd you know? That's the one. There you go. See, I told you it was ripping lately. That's it. Transocean and oil and gas. It used to be a marine shipping one, and like I thought it was a Greece one, but Switzerland, whatever. But that's what the one I was thinking of. Thank you, laptop travel. You know what I was thinking of. And let's see what else is going on. Everyone knows that HRN for the next 2 quarters should do great with people. That's what I was saying, Michael Anthony. It should be pretty good. H&R block, HRB, right? Yeah, HRB. I think that will be pretty good for the next couple months right there. What's HRN? You wrote HRN. I don't know what the HRB. Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you writing? Anyway, the women won today. That's right. The women won today. U.S. hockey and Olympics. They're going to the gold. The men are playing, I think, Wednesday night, right? And that starts the playoffs or whatever, the quarterfinals or whatever the heck they're in. So yeah, that's going on. And that's the Olympics. And let's see what else. Rig and TNK are the shipping companies. Yeah, I was thinking of Rig. That was the one that I was thinking of, laptop travel. So thank you. TK Tankers. I'm not even familiar with that one, but it doesn't look really bad right there. It looks like it could continue up. And let's see. Flut. What's FLUT? Flutter Entertainment. Wow, look at that big dip right there, Michael Anthony. Flut going to pop one. It will pop one day here. I won't doubt it. Maybe it gets down to like 117. It might pop right there. And then he said, what? Look at Michael. It's going to pop one day this week. That comes up on Overstock with a few upgrades to 200, trading at 125. So there you go. And Zim, what is that one? That's a shipping company, huh? And that's Zim Integrated. That's a marine shipping in Israel. Yeah, that looks pretty good too. So all the shipping companies looking pretty good, I must say. And let's see. You tagged me on something. Now I got to see what that is. Laptop travel. What was that right there? Real world example of PagerDuty's function in action is with DraftKings, leading fantasy sports and betting platform during high stakes events like major sports games. DraftKings integrates PagerDuty for incident management and monitoring when an issue arises, such as a spike. Here, I'll just repost that. It's a lot to read, but that's interesting. That makes sense. Okay, now you're putting it into perspective for me there. Laptop travel. Appreciate that, because I didn't know what the heck you were talking about, to be honest with you. But that makes sense right there. And so yeah, there you are. And what are you already looking at there, Michael Anthony? You're already looking at Flut and looking at Pinterest right there. You're already checking out that one, huh? PINS, is that what it is? Yeah. Pinterest, that's way down. Look at that thing. That's gotten beaten down, guys. I mean, it was trying to hold support and it definitely couldn't. You could have a bounce right back up here into the 18s again. So there you go. Zim's being bought for $35. That could jump big tomorrow. Weren't we looking at this not long ago? Zim Integrated Shipping or something? They're being bought, huh? Stocks are moving again, something. So yeah, there you go. I have no idea who they're being bought by or what's going on, but that's according to Michael Anthony. So don't hold me to it. That's Michael Anthony's news right there. I don't know. And that's what he's saying about Zim, but that's what we have for the market right there, everybody. I would say pretty fun little President's Day. Did everybody enjoy their day off today on President's Day and do a bunch of cool presidential things? I don't know what you're supposed to do on President's Day, to be honest with you, but you just enjoy the day off and rest, and everybody's off in banking and schools and all that good stuff, and including the market. So it was nice to have a 3-day weekend. And What did you just say, Doug? Look at the news with the news. What the heck? What is he talking about? Look at the news with the news. I already looked at it. Oil holds gain on Iran, and gold trades below 5,000. There you go. These safer chip stocks have boomed this year. Is it too late to buy in? Big tech stocks lose billions. We already said that, and these guys we mentioned earlier. So there you go with your news, Michael Anthony. I don't know other news you want me to read, but USO right there. That's your oil one. You can keep an eye on that. And obviously, we'll be on at 7 a.m. to check out the market to see what's going to be going on because it's a coin toss to me on a 3-day weekend. You guys know that, but I do have a really nice watch list here, Janica. How are you doing this evening? I mean, I made a heck of a list right there. Now, whether it holds true for tomorrow morning after a 3-day weekend, now that's a whole other thing. But we'll definitely keep an eye on it and see what's going on in the morning. So I'll read through some of them, tell you what we see, and we'll go through and see what else was happening. So yeah, that Rhyme and JDZG and Mulek right there and Adam, they were all running up on Friday. They were popping really big. And then you got some good ones right here. I'll run through them real quick. UMAC looks like it's trying to get set up right there. Iron looks like it's trying to set up, and UAVS right there looks like it's trying to set up as well. You have Service now. That looks really good. That could continue to run. Arms looking pretty strong right there, I must say. Aerospace and defense looking good. And again, I already told you guys there's something going on with Iran. The charts are starting to set up. They're acting weird and everything else. Something's going on. Hey, Janica, yeah, we just, that's fine. We did go over Rhyme. We just did it again. I actually didn't even see that. You wrote that and until just now. But yeah, we've done it a few times. But yeah, Rhyme, it looks like it should be pretty good in the morning. It's up over $5 right now, Luis Rodriguez said, in the overnight trading. So it did spike up a little bit more right there, Janicus. So you keep an eye on that. I would definitely be keeping an eye on that early in the morning for some good momentum. That's for sure, especially if it's spiking up in the overnight hours after the 3-day weekend. It was spiking up Thursday and Friday. Luis Rodriguez had mentioned that bad boy on last week. So that was a good one for sure. That UNH, this was jumping up, not looking too bad right there. So, of course, MOH not looking bad as well. And Lowe's and Home Depot looking pretty good. Keep an eye on them. How about that QCOM? I mentioned it the other day, and there you go. It's looking pretty good again. Toyota Motor strong right there. I faked you guys out, didn't I? Toyota Motor right there. Look at that bad boy. Whoop, that faked me. What is going on? Toyota Motor, there you go. It's pretty strong right there over that trend line. So keep an eye on that. And then we got a good setups going on right here, like Oracle looking good. Adobe's getting set up down here. Reddit's getting set up down here. We were just talking about Snapchat. And also we were talking about what was that other one you were just saying down there that we were just saying, Michael Anthony? I forget. Pinterest right there. That one's way down. So keep an eye on PINS right there. That's beaten down as well. If I typed in Snap right, you could see that one. I mean, holy cow, that's gotten beat down pretty good. PayPal not looking bad right there either. So couple good ones. Lulu looking good. Wolf right there looking good. Wolf Speed. So keep an eye on them. And of course, your Data Vault right here, that one's setting up looking pretty good. And then your KXIN not looking too bad. So there you go with all them. So how'd that help out, Janica? I did that for you since you just got here. And Mamo right there, Massimo Group. Is that a clothing? Nope, that's a recreational vehicle company. We have to see what these look like. That's for sure. Oh, they're pretty cool. I love these things. Not that I should be driving anything like that anymore. You guys know that, but I definitely love stuff like that. That's for sure. But Mamo looking pretty good right there. I would say that does look good, Michael Anthony. So there you are. I would say that's a pretty good rundown of the market. That's what everything looks like. Crypto, not so bad. I mean, Bitcoin back to 69 right there. I would say it looks pretty decent. Ethereum's looking pretty good. I think you're getting curled up. It's just a little flat today. It's waiting for the 20 to come down. You can see a couple more days, maybe a week, but we do get cruising again with our crypto. And I think these bottoms are a good opportunity. So definitely be watching for them. And so, yeah, I would definitely keep an eye out on that as well. So that's what crypto looks like. What did you say? Gold and silver were down in the over. Yeah, they were, because we looked at the futures right there. And silver and gold were down. Your Dow, S&P down just a little bit. NASDAQ. That Nikki's finally down right there. That would have been running up. And your VIX down, but not looking bad. Your UVXY not looking bad either. Platinum down, copper down, and palladium is going up. So that is what the market looks like, guys. We'll take a look at it at 7 a.m. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed your 3-day weekend, President's Day, and had all that time off and enjoyed everything. So, yeah, we do this show every evening on Sunday night through Thursday night at 8 p.m. We obviously skipped last night because the market was closed today, but then we do our pre-market show every morning at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. And again, we skipped this morning, but we'll be on tomorrow morning, see what the market looks like, how it's going to open up, and what's going to be popping, what our best opportunities will be. I'll be on in the Discord after that and all that good stuff. And there is a Discord promo if you're interested. It is LOVE, LOVE. You guys can use that promo code. And what is it? I don't even remember what it even gives you. Am I that bad? Is my memory that bad, guys? I mean, it's got to be really bad, right? You see what I'm talking about? I really forget everything. It's kind of crazy. The fact that I could sit here and just do a show and talk about stocks and remember these things, it's wild to me. But anyway, it's 25% off the Discord, reoccurring too, so that's really good. And so yeah, that's not just 1 month, that's every month, 25% off, and LOVE there. So use that promo code. Any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on X. I do respond to everybody, Michael Anthony and Janica and Laptop Travel and Luis Rodriguez and Doge Mom and 9 and everybody else that was hanging out. Who else was on here? I tried to cruise through real quick and I probably skipped a bunch of people, but Robin and everybody else and Joseph Levy, hope you're feeling better. And everyone else that tunes in, greatly appreciate it. You guys enjoy your evening, and I will see you guys at 7 a.m. And yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do the market at 7 a.m. and see what's going to be popping. So, that's what I was going to. I knew there was something I want to do. All information presented here is for educational and information purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And I don't even think I said it at the beginning. That's why I wanted to say that. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So there you go, everybody. Enjoy your evening, everyone. I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you in the morning.